I'm Mike, and I'd like to give you some really important information to help you stay safe around the railway.
Ultimately, what we hope with any campaign that we run on Trespass is to see a reduction in the number of trespass incidents. As part of the challenge that we put to our agencies, it's to make sure that they can reach people in the locations that we've said, and they would have been looking for a media partner that can fulfil that.
The idea was developed in response to Network Rail's brief for a behaviour change brief to address adult trespass in 2021. Reach were brave enough and kind of dynamic enough to adapt the media placement to suit this creative and to really deliver the pure creative idea exactly as it was presented in the very first instance. And they were obviously able to do all of their due diligence to make sure that it was going to hit all the metrics and all the objectives and target all the audiences we needed to. Off a hunch that we felt that Reach were going to be good to work with, having had some experience of working with them in the past, it was brilliant to see that they absolutely were the right media publishing partner for this.
So the key objectives for the campaign from a media point of view was to really raise as much awareness as possible for this message. It was really important that we focused on the train travelling public, and the hotspot locations were all covered because those were the locations highlighted from Network Rail as the ones that we needed to focus on and where they saw kind of most of the trespassing issues taking place. We did have several conversations with some of our key media partners, such as the likes of Facebook, YouTube and Google, and we approached this campaign to them. However, they just weren't brave enough to test the skip concept. So Reach, they were brave enough, but because they did have the data, the targeting capabilities, the tracking capabilities, but also that scale and reach and that trusted readership as well.
We tried to put a click-through on the ad because whenever we build an ad or a pre-roll, it's normal to make it click through to a website at the end of it. And the client came back and said, no, they didn't want to click through. And in 15 years in the industry, I don't think I've ever had a client turn around and say, I don't want this ad to click through, we just want it to be about awareness, we just want people to see this message. It was fantastic working with Reach because they're prepared to go out there and do like more experimental formats, more unusual things. We've done some other things with them in the past, like interactive games, things that respond to microphone use with like user permission. And so it's really interesting like working with those guys because they're prepared to go above and beyond and go a bit further than most publishers would.
And regionally focused messages in a regional context just work better. It looks right as well. However, this campaign was very different. We weren't encouraging users to take trips or ultimately to sell tickets. It was about driving awareness of a very serious subject, which is why it was important to place this message within an environment that users trust and an environment that takes responsibility for its readers. So we had to work with the media agency, the client, the creative agency, and a third-party tech partner in order to turn abstract concept into a working product. And it did work. 35% of users who saw the ad were able to recall the precise message and the advertiser, and then a further 76% of those went on to take further action on the ad. So whether that was to visit a client's site or whether it was to talk about it with others. It was a really good example of Reach being a true media partner rather than just a supplier of advertising.